Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm here at my favorite drilling site to show off my first ever shiny weapon, this shotgun. No, I'm just kidding. I'm here to show off a full build, which is absolutely incredibly overpowered, but I wanted to show this shotgun. I actually did a live reaction to me getting this earlier on in my channel, so if you haven't seen that yet, go and see my reaction to getting this because it blew my goddamn mind. And also as well, we're going to be using a specific weapon called the Seventh Sense. I also uploaded a video on how to farm this because the gun is utterly broken. We're going to run through it first and you're going to see the kind of destruction that happens, and then we'll go through the build and all the items and everything that you need and where to kind of get them briefly. So let's do this. I am so addicted to this drilling site, by the way. There just doesn't seem to be any other reason to do any other one. And by the way, I'm only going to use this gun. I've got my throwing knife bleed build ready to go for the bosses, and you see how quick they go down. But in general, we're just going to be using just this weapon and destroying people. It's just so ridiculously powerful. Woo! I love that fire rate improvement. I'm not even using as well my this. I don't even need to use this, but this obviously helps as well. Get out of it. Just look at how much damage it does. It's unbelievable. I'm not even using my throwing knife. Come here. Oh, he's got a little bit of health to him, hasn't he? Woo! And this is actually a slow run for me. Usually I'm a lot faster. Coming to get you, big guy. Coming to get you so you're not in the way when I fight the bosses. Right. Let's get Frank down first. Woo! Then we can get Hank down. And then we can get Sal down. While we go through and kill everyone else. Everything is popping off. No, I died right at the end. Get out of it, buddy. Who do you think you are? Absolute, utter destruction. There are so many things at play here, but they're so easy to farm, except that maybe the Seventh Sense that I'm using. It's so easy to farm all the stuff that you need. Or get lucky with an enhancement, but you can just see how ridiculous that was. And that was a slow run for me. What is this? Oh, I was hoping it was a spread fire one. Let me just quickly check these. So let's get on to what is happening here. I'm going to show my VEX siren build at the end, but first let's look at the weapons that I am using. So the Seventh Sense, it is incredible for my build because I'm kinetic attuned and I'm doing critical damage and stuff like that. That's the basis of my build, and Jacob's pistols and weapons are just great for direct impact, direct critical damage. I don't know what I'm saying. So I have here an alt fire and vial launcher where it launches a corrosive vial that deals X amount of damage. On impact, it increases the target's damage taken by 30% for 6 seconds. I don't even use that, but if I wanted to, I could get even more damage. So the main perk of this is proprioception. Ooh, that's a hard word. And it's hitting enemies spawns orbs that float upward and then home in on targets. You are not even truly really seeing this happen, but it is definitely happening. I think it's about 4 different orbs pop up and then they go and smash people in the face. They're white orbs. However, what you are seeing is my fireworks armor shield. So this is unbelievable and by far the best shield in the game for generally ad clearance and just in general just being incredible. So on a kill, you spawn missiles that home in on nearby enemies and deal X amount of damage. So when you were seeing like little fireworks blasting off people's heads, it was this. Every time I'm killing people, it goes and kills several more people. I've got an overshield booster, which on kill, 10% chance to spawn an overshield booster that grants X amount of overshield. This is a pretty pointless perk. If I could get this with like Turtle or something, it'd be incredible. But then we have Missile Swarm. On armor segment break, launches 3 missiles dealing X amount of damage. So whenever I'm getting my shield taken off me, whenever I'm killing people, missiles are just flying all over the place, killing them. It's insane. And then my Seventh Sense weapon is also doing that. It's just unbelievable. You can just take everyone out running around hip firing. So for my mod, I've gone with something that's got specifically kinetic damage. If I could get kinetic damage and also pistol damage and also perks that fit my build, I think one of these might fit my build. it would be so much more monstrously strong. It's unbelievable. So I'm looking for more class mods tied to kinetic damage and pistol damage, or even gun damage. Doesn't have to be specifically pistol, but it will help if it was pistol. So all of those things act together. Then we have a Jacobs enhancement. So piercer, guns with Jacobs licensed parts have a 20% chance to gain a critical hit. Again, everything about my build is built into critical hits, so it just works so well together. And then on here I have pistol critical damage of 75% increase. So those big like one hit kills you're seeing is just all these things aligning together. And then obviously when you kill the enemy, the fireworks come out and attack people. The 7th sense balls go and attack people as well. So the ad clearance on this build is out of this world. Then we have the typical throwing knife with penetrator augment. With the siren build that I'm about to show, you see that bleed kind of replicates itself and just absolutely rinses people health. No matter what boss it is, it will just instantly kill them. And it all comes down to this specific knife with penetrator augment on top of the build that we have, because damage to the impacted target are automatically critical hits. So the bleed build is essentially when you throw this at someone, you do as much critical damage as possible, and then it will cause that to be the amount of bleed, and that will just keep giving itself and keep improving and keep getting larger and larger, and it will just totally wipe out their actual health. Whew, that was a lot to talk about. I should probably get some better rep kits, but I do like this one for the lifesteal. Even though I never really use my rep kits because I never have to, but if I do, I've got lifesteal there, and it's also free charges which can replenish a charge. So if I need to, if I'm desperate, if I'm getting knocked down quite a lot in a stronger area, which typically I don't, I can just keep myself up and keep myself healed. I'm sure there are better rep kits, but that's what I've got at the moment with 10,000 healing. Right, so onto the build. We start with Incarnate, which I typically don't use, but if I do use it, I gain movement speed of 25%. Everything else don't really need, because we're not using Eldritch Blast at all. The only great thing about this is if you do use it and you kill someone, it drops a little purple ball, and then you can detonate that to do some extra damage. But with this build, you don't need it. I didn't need it when I just loaded up, when I just went into that drilling site. So the first perk is Leeching Attunement. So while VEX is attuned to kinetic, that just means she's holding a kinetic gun. She gains lifesteal and reload speed, which is great. You know, it's a solid perk. It's not magnificent. But then we move on to Bloodletter, which is, I think, what this whole build is built around. So gun and skill critical hits have a chance to apply bleed, causing kinetic status effect damage. So when that bleed begins, it's due to the kinetic damage that you are doing, I believe. Then the bleed is affected by status effect application chance, and it's considered itself a status effect. So this is where it starts. You cause bleed, the kinetic damage you do is the amount of damage that bleed creates. Then it stacks itself on top of each other. For some random reason, it's probably going to be fixed and absolutely burns down the health. Then we move on to this perk here, Material Components, gain increased kinetic damage and status effect damage, so just even more damage to apply to the bleed. Then we have Grave Vitality. VEX gains increased maximum health capacity and health regeneration, always helpful to be a little bit more beefy. Then we have Essence Leech. VEX gains lifesteal, double this effect when the action skill is active. Again, that's a nice little bonus to it if you use your action skill, but again, it's not needed. Then we go down to Blood is Power. VEX gains bonus kinetic damage with guns based on her current lifesteal when her health is full. So these two perks can actually make the whole build even more dramatic. I should be using the Incarnate skill, but even without it, I'm still doing insane amounts of damage. So if I was to do this, I would get even more damage and things would go down quicker. Next we go over into the Blue Tree, which is the Dead Ringer. There's a few perks in here which helps quite a lot. So VEX and the minions gain reload speed based on the fullness of their health. Just a nice little thing to throw into. Like, there's no other perk here that you can have other than the 2 out of 5 here, Cold Iron. Gain increased gun damage. So this would work nicely with, you know, Jacob's weapons, because they reload pretty fast anyway, so it's just bang, instant reload and go. And a lot of them have small clips, so like you fire out 4 bullets and then you straight back in, fire another 4. Then we get gun damage. We don't care about the minion one. We go down here to Portents of Suffering. VEX and the minions gain increased status effect damage, so we need that for the kinetic damage to apply as well. Then we go down here to a kill skill. VEX gains increased action skill cooldown rate. So, you know, if I was using action skill cooldown, I'll get it back quicker. Then there's one point down here in Prismatic Ichor. I don't know how to pronounce it. When VEX applies a status effect, apply another random elemental status effect. This is just the last point in your build. You just throw it in anywhere. This is typically the better place to put it. Then we go over to the red and we have just a few perks here. So enchantment, Vex gains bonus kinetic damage with guns while her action skill is active. Again, if my action skill is active, I'll be doing incredible amounts of damage on top of what I'm doing. So all in all, a ridiculous build. Then my siren mod unfortunately drops them into here, so I get critical damage and minion damage gains critical chance. I don't know, I'm sure these count even if you don't have a single point in them. I'm not sure, I can't remember. I don't care because nothing has been a problem for me. But if I could get better perks that attach to like this, I would be unstoppable. So that is that. So for specializations, we have brute, which is gun damage, and sharpshooter, which is reload speed and accuracy. That's not that important. You need 10 points in both of these to get down to the killer section, which is where it gets even better. So the Vault Hunter gains increased critical hit damage and status effect damage. So all that stuff we just spoke about, applying bleeds and stuff, this helps out a lot. You need 20 points in sharpshooter and brute to get these two options down here. I don't typically know what is the best setup, but this is what I have been doing. So if we go over here and have a look at everything we have attached to this build, we have Lead or Alive. When entering Fight for Your Life, all guns are automatically reloaded, which is great because Jacob's weapons, you know, sometimes they're not reloaded. I've got 2 bullets in my clip. I fire 2, then I have to reload. Typically, it doesn't matter. I get myself out of Fight for Your Life quite a lot. I am going to replace this perk with something else. I haven't even discussed or looked at what I want to put in, but this will get changed eventually. Then we have Riddle You This. Whenever the Vault Hunter deals gun damage, gain a stack of Riddle You This, increasing gun damage by 1% per stack. It can stack 50 times. So when I'm running around there, killing all those enemies, my gun damage just increasing dramatically. Then we have the one shot, one kill skill. Excess damage will be stored and added to your next gunshot. So you're just going to do incredible amounts of damage with specific gunshots depending on what's going on in your game. Then we have this one here, Contamination. Critical hits grant increased status effect application chance, which again applies to all the bleed and the kinetic damage and stuff. So unbelievable build, absolutely unbelievable build. So the 7th Sense drops from anywhere, but there's also a side mission you can do, which I made a video about earlier on. And the Fireworks drops from Splash Zone. So the very first boss you fight will drop this. Definitely worth going and farming it. Try and get one that's got like turtle on or something. All the mods and all that just come from random drops. You just have to be lucky. Get that piercer as well. Knife, have to be extremely lucky to get it. But the whole build is just unbelievable. I got my hot slugger now as well. The shiny shotgun. That's incredible. I need to reset my game because I'm getting memory leak. Great. But I just love this build. I think it's the perfect build. I think it's almost unstoppable. And that's not even with like the glitches of the penetrator knife or the glitched blue weapon that I use. You know, just generally, overall, this setup is just unbelievable. I cannot wait. Well, I don't want to say I cannot wait until they fix the knife because I want to see what else I can do with this build. Because right now it's just too easy to use the knife build. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Do you have any other good builds that you are proud of making? Even though I didn't really make this one, I copied it off Moxie. But I am looking to potentially try out different builds, and I've also got to start leveling up my other characters as well, so I can start making builds on those too. But I'm just having too much fun on VEX right now. It's just an unbelievable... What's going on here? Oh, it's a radio. I was wondering what that noise was. Yeah, but anyway, thank you for watching. I've been easy now. You guys have been awesome.